Hello class! Today I'm going to do the second part of chapter 2, which really looks at dimensional analysis, and dimensional analysis is actually a really pretentious way of saying converting units. So most of what you do in chemistry and healthcare and engineering is converting units. If I had learned converting units and I had learned to do so without thinking about the numbers and just setting up canceling out units, I could have saved myself a ton of time in memorizing equations in physics later on, and in chemistry, and for you in medical math. So I'm going to start with a really simple, basic conversion, which is going from centimeters into inches. And then from there, I will go from centimeters into meters, so you can see how to convert units using prefixes, and then also going into an American system which uses inches. So to begin with, you need your equivalents, and 2.54 centimeters equals 1 inch. These are called equivalents because they are equal to each other. Sometimes they're called conversion units, and sometimes it's just called dimensional analysis. So if you're given the problem, 43 inches, and they want you to convert to centimeters, you want to hone in on the numbers. So you hone in on the number, and this is the same for medical math, physics, everything. You hone in on the number that has only one unit, meaning it won't be a density unit, it won't be grams over milliliters. In medical math, often it's how many grams of medication over a milliliter or a deciliter. You hone in on the thing that has just one unit, and that is always what you begin with. That is also what your sig figs are based on. So this starts with 2 sig figs, you're going to end with 2 sig figs, because these conversion units, even though they may give you some conversion units that have 3 sig figs on one side and 1 sig fig on the other side, they are considered infinite for sig figs, meaning you never limit your sig figs based on a conversion unit. So you start with what you're given, the 43 inches. And I use something called a train track method, where you draw your crisscross so that you can see that whatever you began with is on top. And then the rule is whatever you put on the bottom will cancel out. Because I have inches here, I'm going to put inches down here. And because I'm trying to get to centimeters, sometimes I underline or highlight that, I'm going to put centimeters here. Whatever is left on top, that will be your final unit. So now I'm just going to plug in what makes these two things equal. So this line is the same as an equals. So I'm going to put in 1 inch, and I'm going to put in 2.54 centimeters. A common mistake that students will make is to flip these. So they will accidentally put the 2.54 on the bottom. So you always need to think, okay, what unit does this number actually go with? What was I given you? Always need to have these equivalent statements in front of you. And then it doesn't matter that you're taking 43 inches times 2.54 centimeters, and that this has 3 sig figs. Based on what you began with, you should only have 2 sig figs in your final answer. So you will take 43 times 2.54, and then you will round your final answer to 2 sig figs.